Welcome everybody to hey Squabbles, a Monster and Story, episode 15 group. Thank you. Got it. Correct order. Mike, good to have you
That's
back.
why we're
Down
that's why we're team best.
as the
I've been sharing your playlist of that to all the people, and they've been laughing about that specifically.
funny. I I got sidetracked, but anyway, quick rough month. In your last episode, you were in the Underdark. Spent some time in Drowvin, decided to smash time. Escape by traveling back the way you came and taking Fork Road, similar style above ground. Upon reaching there, you ended up in the half. That was fought that, succeeded winning to, but nowhere near work of the Sheridan Hills. A day or two west of the village, which learned bearings, kind of know stuff. Long.
Very
We'll
much so.
always celebrate long rests.
We'll be playing role.
The edgy rogue. I don't know. I don't know if you have it in you.
I was about to move the microphone. It's probably sound a bit better now.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I had to turn you up. I'm not gonna hear you.
If you don't see this thing you hear, then you know it's wrong. Usually, if I'm doing anything else, I always have it to the side until I actually do like a stream thing,
Yeah.
where I have to be professional.
I push mine upwards, like when I don't need it.
So, you guys wake up. You're in the middle of the forest. Actually, you did try to cook a meal to get there as fast as possible. It was a very bland meal for that horseshoe crab that Erus cooked. Didn't poison you guys, but it wasn't that good. And that's where we're at.
Hey, not being poisoned is good enough.
I took notes.
I'm so proud of you.
I definitely didn't take these notes last night as I rewatched the video. Actually, I think I took some notes back then too, but I didn't look at them. Professional. So, you're up. Have been fed. This wasn't the most enjoyable meal. Undersalted.
I left all the rock salt back in the cave. Sorry.
Now, if I remember right on the map, like the Kushala Deora was up in Riveroo or near Qatar.
You were suggested to go to Riveroo to gather information about one supposedly somewhere nearby, and they would be able to assist.
At least we're much closer than we were to do that.
Conveniently.
But you're saying you planned this?
No, I don't fucking plan anything. That's not true. I plan a lot of things.
And we ruined all of them.
No, that's not true. I adapt. I overcome. Sometimes.
You also improvise?
Yes. Also, we're not in volcano. We're in forest. Proper background, ambient.
So, what? Erus, with your spotting where we are, where should we strike out first?
Well, that depends. If we want to go just to the nearest village, we're going to want to head west. But if we want to go to Riveroo, which will be a bit more of a trek, we'll need to go about straight north from here.
River is where we were suggested to go check out for the Kushala.
Yes. My only thinking is Kokoto should be somewhere west of us. If we can get there, maybe we can get some sort of faster way to travel to Riveroo.
It's possible, plus at the very least we can stock up on supplies before heading up there.
That as well. I mean, I don't have any money. But getting you guys more supplies would probably be helpful either way.
I have enough money to get if we need potions and stuff.
Restocking is not a bad idea, and if we can find that passage, I'm more all for it.
Kokoto it is then.
All right.
Azrar doesn't care what you do.
I mean, that
Edgy.
again sounds just like him. So, you know.
Azrar, you sound very different today.
No, it's just I'm thirsty. Dry throat.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yes.
has an edge to his voice today.
I don't like your
Sounds
tone.
about right.
So,
All right, so west it is.
okay, you could.
Yep.
All right. So our trailblazer, which would be, I think, Iihane, but let's take a look here.
Typically, yes.
Yep, Iihane, you are the trailblazer. Typically, followed with
Oh,
Azrar being the scout.
23. It was left on advantage from some reason.
You're welcome.
I wasn't here last time, so well, if you did it, no, okay.
The
Not gonna
spotter
push that.
is all set since our artesian was Erus, since he already cooked a meal. So, all right, we're gonna make our journey a 23 roll. Look at my travel rules. I need my bonuses. Still in winter. Remember, what pace are we going at? Oh, Iihane, are we doing like stealthy, slow, normal pace? Or are we doing a fast pace?
We're not doing fast because that bit me in the hind end last time. I don't see a reason to rush.
Okay.
Erus, when you looked up there, did there look to be any danger nearby that we might have to hide from?
Did I see any danger?
Nothing specifically. When you were looking for a long far out, there was nothing flying in the air that was of danger, but that's all you really could have seen.
Yeah, I didn't see really much of anything. Mostly trees. I mean, I wasn't paying attention to that close to us. I was just trying to get kind of horizon and figure out about where we were. So yeah, I didn't notice anything specific though.
Okay, then I don't think we need to go at a slow pace. I think a normal would be sufficient.
Okay. And then let's have all set. Go ahead and give me a d20. Let's see what the weather's like. 15. All right, it's warm with a slight breeze for the winter time. So it's like, instead of being 30 degrees, it's like 40 degrees. So, and there's a little bit of a breeze, which actually probably makes the wind chill even lower. It's the worst.
Always.
All right. Roll. Looking at. Yeah, okay. So your journey for the day as you're traveling through I can't say Kokoto Village anymore.
It definitely is a name that trips up the tongue.
Mess with it. But anyways, you're actually traveling through the Verdant Hills, so I didn't even say it. As you're traveling through the Verdant Hills for the better part of the day, it's fairly quiet. You still hear, monsters here and there, a far-off roar from some type of monster. On a rare occasion, you take some cover from a large flying wyvern that travels way overhead, just to try to keep out of sight, safe and easy. As the day comes to a close, we have Azrar who starts looking for a place to rest for the night. He's going to use his perception and stealth, which I will roll to see what we find for a safe location for your night. Still. See. Okay. Roll. Okay. So, I mean, there's plenty of places to rest in the Verdant Hills. There's small caves. You could hide, sleep up in the trees in some kind of like cots, or just on a tree branch if it can support your weight. And as you're resting for the night, Azrar finds a small cave. And as you all rest for the night, all said, you happen to spot you spot a location where it seems to be like the light from the campfire you have, like right on the edge of the cave, seems to be kind of flickering into like an open space in the back of the cave, like a small little hole you can see.
Well, and I'll sort of get everybody's attention. It seems as though that there is some sort of opening over there.
Oh.
No, make note of it.
I would like to at least check out the opening. If we're staying here, I'd like to know vaguely what's around us.
Okay. So go and give me an investigation check.
Oh yay! I mean, it's positive, so I positively bad roll, but it is positive.
Mhm.
The light from the campfire is throwing me off.
Yeah, so I mean, you're looking at it. To you, looking at it, it's not. There's like maybe something like it doesn't seem the hole is maybe like about the size of your hand at most. Like as you kind of like push it back and try reaching in, you kind of like reach around, try to pull the rock back, and it's too heavy to really pull and get a good view on. And you don't really feel anything back there. Nothing bites you or anything like that either. So that's about all you can find with us.
Okay. Upon not really finding a threat or anything, I'll just move on from the hole. Start making my little hammock that I sleep in.
Okay. Erus or I'll set you guys do anything at all with it, or
I'll give it a double check. I'll like lower a set of the monocles on the goggles, and then start looking through.
Thankfully, we know that Iihane isn't the most noticing of things.
14. So with a 14, as you kind of like investigating a bit more, the flicker of the light from the campfire gives you just brief glimpses with the monocle on that gives you a bit better sight down in there. It looks to be like there might be a box in there, like you see the corner of like some kind of red wood from what you can see, but it's not really easily visible since you only have like a hand like movement out. This large box or this large rock in the
It certainly seems as though that there's something in here. The rock face itself is impeding our acquisition of it. Erus, if you don't mind, I think this is where you will excel.
Sure. And I will go and get the box out.
Yep, I need you to make me a strength check.
Straight strength?
Oh, athletics is fine.
Cool.
25. So yeah, Erus, you grab the like large rock. I mean, the rock itself is probably about 5 feet or so tall. It's got some width at the bottom, almost like egg shape, that you pull it away from the spot, and it reveals a small like cubby. It doesn't look carved out. It's like it was there innately, and someone put something in there. But you see a box that's roughly about a foot across or so, roughly about 6 or 7 inches deep, and about 6 or 7 inches tall. There's a symbol on the top.
Do I recognize das symbol?
Give me a history check.
Hmm. Yes, history.
Yes. No, you do not.
Nice 0 for the day.
Could be
That's
on a worse
symbol?
roll. So you have no clue what it is. You don't get like a bad vibe from it or a good vibe even with the 0. You have no fucking clue what it is. What the symbol means.
Mm-hmm. I know exactly what this is, guys.
I take a look at it.
Pirate treasure.
Sure. So go ahead and give me a history. 24. You recognize this almost immediately since it's kind of a branch of the White Academy. It is the symbol of the Royal Scriveners, which are the Elder Dragon.
Well, it seems to be a hideaway box where they, concerning the royal scriveners. I don't imagine it would be trapped, so feel free to go ahead and open it.
Do you open it? Erus?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
oh, this pirate treasure is gonna be mine.
As you open it up, the trap set off and you all die. No. So
Nice.
as you open it up, inside
Can't wait to tell Vissel.
yeah, killed your
we
character
opened
when
the
you weren't
box and
here.
killed you.
I'm gonna be a druid.
So
I
as
can also be a druid.
just a group of druids.
All
gonna
druid
be a
party. We
monk.
all just take a different creature type to wild shape into.
Hey,
Oh,
that'd be a really cool fight. Well, just the monster hunting monsters.
I'm
Oh.
only going to wild shape into Tetsukabra. I hope you know
that's it the entire time.
this. A big frog.
Maizutsune, so you know.
Gotta go druid of the moon. That one.
Yep.
Go for the young.
Druid of the-
What other druid would you choose?
That's
the
true.
only
We're
other
transforming
good
into
one is
monsters.
Druid of the stars, so.
So
Eh.
inside you find a letter. Unimportant. You toss it away. I'm assuming Erus.
Yeah,
Not measured, so-
quite.
Or do you?
Do you think I can read? Yes, but do I want to? No. I go, probably a pirate porn letter, whatever, I don't care.
I take the letter from him.
Okay. Inside you find, and the real reason you toss it away is inside you find 4 potions and another set of, oh, actually, technically you find 8 potions, like liquids in some kind of bottles. 4 of them are in the exact same bottles. They're like kind of squarish jars that are kind of like a light blue, like fabric soft. Then you,
Antifreeze, gotcha.
yes,
Huh.
no, fabric softer. But antifreeze is more like a electric blue.
Mhm.
Fair.
This is like baby blue. So then you also find, and the 2 of the potions are a deep red, like velvety red, and you find an orange and red swirling potion, which looks very. You recognize immediately. You've seen your hunters purchase many of them at a time, which you recognize as a potion of fire resist. The other ones you don't really recognize. At least you've seen maybe some similar to the velvety red ones. And maybe you've seen the other ones on the back wall somewhere, but you have no idea what they are off the top of your head.
I'll just kind of set them down and go, pirate booze. I win.
I don't
Are
think
you
that's what they
sure?
are.
I don't think so either. What
It's
pirate
Well,
would
Azrar,
leave
you
the
don't really
booze?
think at all, so
What pirate would
I just
leave
do.
the booze behind?
one who's trying to age them to make them better.
They don't have the patience for that,
Duh.
though.
Have you ever met a pirate?
I've met underdark pirates. back to you. You met the drow.
Yeah, but drow drink wine. Who ages
Oh,
wine?
yeah.
Yeah, but like
Fruity tooty stuff.
the drow that we met are also like assholes, though. So
Do you think pirates wouldn't be?
He makes a point.
no, I think pirates would be pretty cool dudes.
Can't wait to buy.
Yeah, no, I can't wait to go on that. Meet the pirates of the Great Sand Sea.
Sand pirates.
I think we can't call them that. Star Wars will get us. Disney will heal us. They heal everything.
It's a biker gang.
In the midst of this conversation, I've just taken the potions and started identifying them
Okay.
and reading the later at the same time.
I figured you would. I wanted to stop the conversation. So you could.
So you spend during your rest time in identifying these. You identify the two red velvety looking colored potions as potions of supreme healing,
Bruh.
and the other four are cleansers. No pirate boots. Oh, as you get Erus, did you hear this news? Are you upset about it?
Erus is indifferent.
Okay. Well, Azrar is upset about it, and he kicks the little box, and a secret compartment out pops flask.
Oh. Erus grabs it.
You find some Scrivener booze.
Smells like shit.
It's just a really nice scotch.
Erus does not, as we've seen from his cooking, does not have great taste.
So yeah, I think Azra takes a little sip of it, passes it around to see if anybody else wants to try it. It's tasty.
Iihane would probably taste a little bit, but it'd probably be too strong for her liking typically.
As my wife
probably...
describes it, it tastes like dirty leaves and dirt.
But don't just sell an elf on that. That sounds like great things for an elf.
I know a druid who would like this.
That's how my wife always describes my booze.
I only know about monkey shoulder.
Monkey shoulder somewhere actually around. Ironically,
and I only know it's called that.
It's right here, sponsor us.
Yeah, my cousin was going into the whole history of why it's called monkey shoulder.
It's okay booze. It's honestly really cheap, but it's okay booze.
And that's why it's called monkey shoulder.
It's called monkey shoulder because making it, they hunch over like monkeys.
Interesting. So, you found some flask booze, 4 cleansers, 2 potions of supreme healing, and a potion of fire resistance. Other than that, the rest of the night goes by peacefully. Unless you guys want to talk about anything or do stuff.
So, real quick though, who wants to hold the potions of supreme healing? Because one of them could go to Erus because he has the most HP, I think.
The most stamina, yes.
I could take damage all night long.
Who should have the other one then, Offset? Do you think?
I personally don't have a preference. Both of us are quite capable of stitching wounds magically for our compatriots. I would, in the case that Azrar is quite far from us, which I personally don't see happening too often.
He tends to
perhaps...
like to stay near teammates for some reason.
Can't help that I like you, guys.
I don't believe that.
I can imagine one
They're
going.
useful. Yeah, I was gonna suggest that. I think I could use it. I get hurt. You're not nearby enough. Works for me. So I will add it to his inventory.
Fair by me.
Nice. And that's 8d4 plus 8, correct?
No.
10d4 plus 20.
What?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, you said supreme healing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I thought it was superior.
That's why I wanted it to go to one of you guys.
It's a big one.
10d4 plus 20. Fuck, dude.
Where was that during the Magmalo fight?
It was in this box.
I don't know what cleansers do off the top of my head.
Cleansers are for stuff.
I know. Don't worry. Let me just fix this real quick. Let me just open my
I need to search it there. Is my answer.
mods on this stuff.
So cleansers. As an action, you can apply this apply this clear scentless liquid to your armor or clothing to remove any ice, mud, or webbing on you.
Ice, mud, or webbing.
Yeah, effectively a lot of things that restrain you. You can get rid of.
Luckily, it's on 5e tools that I can easily copy if I need to.
I just opened up Federal 20 and searched it myself. You're the second person to mention. We don't mention that website.
Oh yeah, you're right. That doesn't exist.
What website?
Exactly.
No website.
Okay.
Happened last session too.
I apologize. I forgot that doesn't exist. I'm gonna put that here.
I'm so confused.
Good.
Same.
Good.
I zoned out when we were talking about something that doesn't matter to Erus.
So how many cleansers did we have? 2?
4.
4?
Yep.
Oh, I'll take one of those then.
Wait.
Just give everybody one.
I think so.
Yeah. Should be fine.
Erus will take one if it's offered, but he's like, cleanser? I'm already clean enough.
Like aftershave.
What
Yeah,
is shaving?
Not actually like aftershave either. So, you guys do anything else during the night? Talk about anything, your plans, where you want to go, all that jazz.
So Iihane would talk with you guys and say, well, since we happen to be close, I feel like another reason to go to Kokoto is to report what we saw, the teleport and whatnot, to the guild. To at least let them know what's happening there. But thankfully we are close to our goal of the Kushala, though I don't know how we're going to get back for the Valstrax in a reasonable time. Unless you guys have anything else we need to do over here. I'm just...
Well, I can't imagine there wouldn't be any form of transportation in any of these areas. So hopefully we'll luck out. Otherwise, we're going to be taking the long route.
A lot of
We
walking.
could get lucky and have a caravan going towards Riveroo, and be able to go with them, so it'd be a little bit faster. Who knows? Maybe there'll be another airship.
If we are lucky.
Now you say those words, I realize how much we're not lucky.
Hey, we survived that fight with the big creature down in the underground.
And we have made it
Multiple
thus far.
creatures.
Right. We barely survived that,
But we did.
and
Yeah.
yes, but we found out shortly later that thing probably wasn't at full strength.
Which is where our luck kicked in.
I don't know if I'd consider that luck.
Why do you gotta be so down about it? We survived.
Exactly. Why is Azrar being the positive one here?
Why is Azrar being whatever I feel like him being today?
No,
I'm just saying luck tends to not be in our favor.
luck goes both ways, good and bad.
None of us have died. Killed some monsters. Once gotten some gold. Saving the world.
We killed the merchant that mistreated us
Yeah.
because you guys knew me.
Oh yeah, you did that. I forgot. I forgot that you guys did that.
I remember more what happened in the off episode that I wasn't here.
You know, I don't have a great memory. I was too busy thinking about how I murdered some people in an arena, and it was kind of cool.
Yep, that you did. This is that happened simultaneously.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as you all sit there thinking about some their bad luck, some their good luck, your next steps. I'm just curious to see what you all know about Riveroo. Has anybody ever been? Because no one's been to the Verdant Hills before, correct?
I don't think Iihane would have.
Erus, so you've
At least not
hunted here
knowingly.
before, I guess technically, because everything pre official story
Right.
game is canon.
Yeah, I've hunted in the Verdant Hills. Not like it haven't been there a lot. But because Erus lived like outside of Dundorma,
Right.
with his tribe, in that area. I mean, he's hunted in the Verdant Hills a couple times, but I don't think he's ever been to Riveroo.
Okay. And there's definitely a mountain
Almost-
range that you have to go through
almost
there
like
too.
We would have stopped at Riveroo like to gather supplies or on the way to like Kokoda Village before heading out to the Verdant Hills, but that seems
No,
doubtful.
probably not. So I was just curious.
Yeah.
So let's just see what you guys know just from like reading or rumors you've heard before and / remember. I will let you either give me a charisma check or an intelligence check, either one.
Charisma. Fuck.
That's your second nat one of the
Oh,
session.
you know, we're just getting them out of the way before combat starts. That's what's happening.
Yeah, exactly. I'm helping you out here. So, Erus, the only reason you know of Riveroo is because it was mentioned that you guys should go check it out for information on the Kushella Deor. That's it. That's what you know. You know.
All right, yeah.
I mean, you never had to worry about it. It's across the Himarun mountains. I think it's Himarun. It's down in like a valley surrounded by steep mountains. All set. You've known of it. You've never. You know, it's a big trade location for a lot, like towards Dundorma and otherwise. You know, they like to avoid Western. That's about what you know, honey. You know all of that. In addition to the fact that it is like the elves kind of main city. High elves, wood elves, they're not typically too friendly with drow because of the whole dark mother and stuff like that. That's kind of how it works out.
The whole elves are assholes thing.
Yeah. No, they just don't. They get actually along with all the other races with no real issue. They just have issues with drow because of Iihane. Or not because of Iihane. because of Iihane.
Specifically.
Lol. Because of lol.
Crazy.
It's just like, I get around.
I did.
So-
I don't remember anything pre-spider. I could have caused all of it. But yeah, I would mention what I know of it, that we may have another situation of me being careful within a town or staying outside of a town, depending on how the locals react to me. They aren't friendly with drow, but I'm slightly different, so we'll see how unfriendly they tend to be when the reason comes.
Okay.
At least it's a surface city, which is a little bit less hostile towards people. So here's hoping.
Yes, it should be.
We
Okay.
can only hope.
I just figured I'd see what you guys knew, and Iihane definitely is aware of the potential situation that you may encounter when you arrive. And it wasn't one of those things maybe Iihane you thought about bringing up before because you weren't anywhere near it yet, and now you just kind of got tossed into the situation, which is why it's like, well, maybe now we should bring
Especially with
it up.
the first situation from the drowsy, like, hey, it may become a recurring thing.
So
Nice.
what I need then, we're going to Koto Village.
Yes.
Oh.
That one.
Cockatoo Village.
I need
Cockatoo Village.
my Trailblazer to please make me a survival roll as we begin our journey. This is a short journey. It's about 2 days to get there. 23. Okay. Your journey during the day, nice and easy. No real issues. Still creatures for the most part. Keeping clear. You're pretty close to the village itself. by the end of the first day, where most strong and monsters that you may have issues with kind of steer clear of because they're very much aware of the dangers of that the village poses to them. And the hunting grounds are typically more to the south, which is maybe why you're not encountering anything specifically. As you go to rest, I'm gonna roll for Azrar stealth and perception. See if he finds you a nice safe place. 21, 23, okay. Looks looking good. Okay. Okay. And he finds you another type of like small cave. In this case, it's not necessarily an actual cave you can go into. It's just kind of it's just a overcropping of rock that you find to rest for the night under. Small campfire, billows up smoke. It's fairly safe for the most part. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. So while you're sitting there, at night, during your watch, Erus, which
Another
are yes, another Narakuga. So during your watch, Erus, are you taking watch like first, second, third, fourth? When is your watch?
I probably go like second.
Okay. So during your watch, you see a light that starts to form, like very small, off in the distance, about 20 feet away from you. You can see it because you're not really hidden other than the overcrop that you have that you're on. There's a small, like yellow, like goldenish light about 20 feet out. It's small, yay big in the distance. It's starting to grow a bit bigger.
I'll pull out mine hammer.
Okay.
And I'll just kind of stand there and wait at the ready.
Okay. As you stand there and wait at the ready, it continues to kind of grow brighter and brighter, but not closer. As about 30 seconds or so go by, you're holding your hammer watching this thing, and now it's just this kind of bright light that's just tearing away at the darkness of the night in a small area about 20 feet away from that you see.
I'll just like look around at everyone and see if any of them like have woken up from this or not.
It's just a light. There's no noise. There's no sound. I mean, there's still sounds of like, around you of insects and creatures and stuff, but there's no like humming noise or anything like that generated from this light.
Does this seem like something like that's like natural or like a creature or like do I get any sense of it that it's like
Give me a nature check.
oh man,
9?
Jesus.
I mean, 9, it's about average. I mean, you've been to the Vernon Hills before and you've never seen something like this.
Okay.
You don't get the feeling that it's harmful, though. I mean, it's just off in the distance, just bright shining light, unmoving. The light is just in its place.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'll take a step
Okay.
out and just kind of slowly make my way over there, but being careful and ready to run back and wake them up should anything go amiss.
Sure. Why don't you give me a stealth check? You're being careful.
Where's that stealth one?
7.
Yep.
Okay, you're as stealthy as you can be.
It's on track.
You go about 10, 15 feet or so. I said it was 20 feet out, so I guess you go about 10 feet or so. And this thing seems to be low to the ground as you kind of get up and move towards it. It's maybe a foot off the ground. So, and you step on a branch that you couldn't see in the dark. You look around. There's not a single Nargacuga in sight.
Okay.
But it wouldn't be in sight.
The the light from it doesn't move. It
More
doesn't.
nuts to come out. Oh,
Yeah, the light doesn't diminish. It doesn't grow. It's just steady.
okay. Um,
It's
how
all.
close am I at
You're
this point?
10 feet or so away. It's. I mean, because it's so bright, it's hard to make out what like is generating this light from this distance.
Mm-hmm.
But it's There's no movement. There's no nothing. Just bright.
I'm gonna. Are there any like rocks or pebbles on the ground near me?
Sure. There's always like at least like a chunk of branch or bark or something.
Okay. I'm gonna just pick up whatever is around me
Mhm.
and throw it at the light.
Okay. You throw it at the light. I want to see if you hit something. So go and roll me just a straight strength. No.
What the?
So you
fuck?
throw it. It goes like to the light. You see it pass through the light, and then you hear kind of the clink as it hits the ground behind.
Hmm. I'll keep walking towards the light.
Now you get to within 5 feet of it. How close do you get to it?
I want to get close enough to touch it.
So you walk up to it, and it's fairly bright, especially in this
Mhm.
darkness. And as you get close enough to it, as you're within a foot or so, you see what's making the light. But you can see it looks to be some kind of plant that has grown up, a stocky-like plant, and you see a piece of corn that is glowing bright yellow.
I will reach out and grab said corn.
Okay, you grab the piece of corn. The light's still shining. Do you like break it off, or what do you do?
I mean, I'd like to get if it's take the corn
Yeah.
off the stalk.
Okay, yeah, you
kind of hold it and
Pop
look
it up.
at it.
Yep, it's glowing. And as you look, the glow still stays. There's another 3 pieces of corn on this stalk. It's only about a foot and a half or so tall.
Huh. I'll take the other pieces of corn.
Okay. The light from the stalk fades as it withers. The corn still glows.
I'll just kind of like look up.
Mhm.
What does this mean?
Roll me a D100. You get no response.
I will walk back to the cave entrance.
Corn's still glowing. As the light, the light has faded slightly, but not very much.
And all 4 pieces of corn are glowing?
Correct.
I'll put 3 of them in one of my bags of holding.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a bite out of this 4th one.
Okay. Take a bite out of the 4th one. Would you roll me a D20 plus a 1d6 minus 1? Okay. You gain feline courage. Daily skill.
Interesting.
You feel, I guess, in this case of how your character feels, like you chew on it, and any kind of like worry or fear you may have of something right now just kind of fades for the time being.
Is the glow still on that piece of corn?
Currently, yeah.
Hmm. And I will put what is left of it in my bag.
Okay. As you put the oh, hearing feedback. That's weird. You put it in the bag. There's still light being shining right now. And as you look at your arm, you are currently glowing.
Hmm. I'm going to walk into the cave
Mhm.
and wake up Iihane.
She wakes up with a slight start, but looks over and sees you glowing.
Yeah.
What happened? What did you do?
Hi. Yeah. Um. And I'll pull out the piece of corn that I, ate off of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saw this glowing out there, and I'll point out to where like this kind of general area where the stock was. Uh, and took a bite out of it. And I feel more calm than I have in a long time now. And then this happened, and I thought, since you follow a god, that you might understand what this means.
Uh, can I roll a check to see if I understand
You
anything?
can give me a religion check.
Okay. It's actually one of my better rolls.
An 18. I mean, at points in time during your studies, following, in your case, the Dark Mother, but also speaking with, why can't I think of what you call her? Right.
She would just be. I don't know
You
what
have a name
drow
for her.
would
You have a
be
name
called.
for her. No, not Lolth, but Maya.
Maya.
Yeah. So, I mean, speaking with Maya and stuff like that, I mean, your best guess is this is some kind of boon, some kind of reward for services done, faith, stuff like that.
Why, I'm not sure how much stock I put into this Maisie, for I've known the voice you've heard and claimed as Maisie much longer by a different name. It seems like no matter what I believe or you believe, some deity has deigned to give you a boon for some sort of service or faith that you provided.
Hmm.
No matter what, it seems only beneficial for now, but we'll have to see if anything negative happens to you later as it wears off.
Right. I'm just confused considering the fact that I actively went against this voice's wishes in the arena. So
Yeah,
why would it then reward me for
unless
directly disobeying?
unless the voice is not the thing rewarding you. What you think is the deity you worship might not be. Remember, I hear the voice too, and I for sure do not worship your deity.
I would say, honey, you also could consider it could be a show of faith from the
That
deity
is,
for him as well, like to try to lead him.
yes, and it also doesn't need to be a reward for you, but more a show of faith to show that it's still with you. There's many interpretations when it comes to higher beings.
I wish whatever it was would just make things clear.
Puts a hand on his shoulder.
be plain with me, not do these shows of faith, as you say, or, you know, act cryptically, or, only sending messages at seemingly random times.
Puts that
I
hand on his shoulder. That's the first step to finding faith is accepting that they will never tell you what they want, only that you've done something wrong.
Right.
When they
The
do,
thing is I don't even know at this point what I'm following. If Maisie is real, then I literally watched the birth of a god happen as a fucking joke with a couple other hunters. If it's not Maisie, then who the fuck is it that is taking
uh,
my, you know, poor attempts at prayers and reaching out as, and taking that in for their own when it's not them that I'm, reaching
here,
out to.
here I wouldn't stress too much. My main thing is if the god has not been shown to be against you, it might not be, and you might, even if it's not who you think it is, it might be closer to what you want it to be.
I don't care if it's not against me. If it doesn't feel like it can show me who it really is, I don't want a part of it. I'm only going. The only reason I trust you or Azrar or Allset or any of the other hunters I've worked with is because they have shown me that they can be trusted because of the fact that they have been down here with me dealing with this bullshit. Whatever god has deigned it appropriate to take the, you know, random prayers that I'm just and wants that I'm just throwing out there as prayers to it, unless it shows me who or what it is that I am, throwing that to, can kindly fuck right off.
I'm
Unless it is the exact one that I am calling out to.
I don't know much of this Maisie that you speak of, but the power of thought is more powerful than you might believe. There's been legends of gods created just because creatures believe in them. So it might very well be exactly who you think it is. But either way, I don't think the answers will come easily. But no matter what, at least there's something looking out for you, whether it's what you want or not.
Does a whole lot of good for all the family I lost. Why couldn't I have started looking out for me then? And
Maybe you weren't
I
ready.
get up and walk away after that, back to the entrance of the cave to finish out my watch.
Iihane settles back down, thinking about this Maisie and what it could mean.
Okay.
And on my way back to the entrance of the cave, Erus wipes at his eyes with his sleeve.
So I guess Iihane takes third watch, and then Allset takes the
Yeah.
final watch. Do when you wake up Allset, Iihane, do you? Hope I just minimize Discord so no one's seeing the cameras move. There we go. Let's fix that. Hopefully, nope, two of them are still frozen. Let me fix that. Professional stream. That one. There's. We're good. So, do you talk to Allset about any of this, Iihane?
Um, I think I would make it a mention to Allset because Allset has proven themselves to be very intelligent
Mhm.
compared to the rest of us. I would make a mention that of what Erus found, what he did, and the conversation that he had with me just briefly as we swap watches.
Am I still glowing at this point?
Yeah.
And I
Okay.
just point over at the sleeping Erus, who
Yep.
is slightly glowing.
Yeah, and like I'm not like curled up in a bedroll or anything. I'm literally just sprawled out, like just no care of what's around me, just limbs everywhere.
Go to block the light with your arm, and it turns out it's just your arm that's giving the light.
Just,
Iihane, your interactions as well as Erus's, and perhaps Azra's, your interactions with the higher powers or gods are quite interesting. I'll do what I can about the immediate effects and see if there's anything outwardly that is affecting anyone. It doesn't seem like it is negatively affecting Eros at the moment, considering that is he seems more comfortable for this night at least. Um, Perhaps I once we reach Kokoto, perhaps I can send word out to Altan and see if I can ask for his advice on this. Um, he was the one that made mention of this. From what I understand, he was the one that made mention of this Maisie uh, to Erus and Azra. Um, so uh, I'll see what I can do.
I just felt you should know you have a way of thinking of things that I don't see as logically. I may know about religious endeavors, at least a fair bit, but with a voice in both of our heads that I've heard for years and he just heard, it might not be a religious thing.
Hmm.
And much to my surprise, I've grown fond of hunting with you guys and traveling. I wouldn't want some extra planar being to spread to you guys.
It's like a
Exactly. The brain STD.
I'll see what I can do.
what a
Uh,
great thought.
That much. That much I can promise.
brain SD. That was only one way Arrows got it. Then I'm just saying.
Well, our webs come from me, so if you come in contact with the web, maybe.
As we see, Eris is actually sleeping on a cot right now.
I'm concerned.
So web.
Yeah, I just make everybody beds.
Yeah.
Every night. Like I build my hammock. I build cots for everybody. That way we don't sleep on the cold ground.
Keep that body temperature.
Exactly.
All right. So, also, the rest of your time goes by peacefully, unless there's anything you want to do and investigate errors or anything else.
Yeah, I'll probably be taking like observations of Erus, see how he is.
Okay.
Compared to like
You're watching me sleep?
observations. I'm there with a notebook like crouched over,
Hey, keep
like
telling yourself that.
a good
Hey.
like 3 feet away.
Taking temperatures.
It's a little bit of a
that's
skin
a
clipping
little
as I'm asleep and it's just
that's a little invasive at this moment.
watching me while I sleep, isn't? Okay.
At least I'm not like
Hovering over you.
yeah, and like what is it?
Smelling my hair.
Uh,
Just,
yeah, like I'm staying a good 3 feet away
Social distancing.
at least.
uh-huh.
And then I'll probably
3 feet's not even
go
a full
out.
combat square.
Yeah, I'm in there.
Yeah, you're within my melee range. Careful.
I'll probably, if there was something, I don't think there was anything made note. I imagine he got the corn from somewhere, so I'll probably check like the immediate vicinity if there was anything.
Yeah, okay. With
That
your
was there.
with your passage, you probably find the withered like stalk out about 20 feet or so out.
I'll probably, make a note of that. I would probably also just straight up ritual cast identify on both the stock and Erus.
Okay.
See if there's anything that's affecting him. Because there is that little clause to it.
Let's take a look. Identify here.
Deadly illness.
Definitely. Choose object, blah, touch, blah, magic item or some magic immune object. Which properties how to use.
It's that last clause. If you instead touch a creature throughout the casting, you learn what spells, if any, are currently affecting it.
There
That's cool.
are no spells currently affecting Erus. Same guesses. We've had this before. Same guesses. It's probably something divine, not necessarily magic.
Yeah, and I'll note that, and then probably start getting a set of notes aside for Alton. So I can set that probably over in Kokoto Village, and hopefully get a response the next time I go home. Question mark? I don't know. Mail is tough.
Mail is tough. Send
Like,
out
imagine a whole bunch of clerics sending sendings.
that or cahooties. Lots of cahoots. Yeah. Okay. So you wake up. You are currently a day out from Koto Village. You'll arrive there as night falls as you get ready to sleep. So, Iihane, if you would, you should look around, make that survival roll. Erus, you're still glowing. Just want to make sure you're aware.
Yep.
Mhm.
Erus doesn't say anything about it to anyone.
The only thing you get is a
and
what the fuck from Azrar in the morning.
Yeah, because nobody told him.
Yeah, Erus literally is just not talking today.
Okay.
I will make mention, Erus, that Iihane had told me of what happened last night. And I did take non-evasive observations and measurements of your person. Just so that you are aware, if I do not think that I need to further investigate with more invasive practices, so I will just let you know that now.
Did you know you're glowing?
Erus just looks at him and picks up his bags and starts walking in the direction of the village.
What about breakfast?
I'll just throw a loaf of bread at him.
Fuck. That's when you guys walk off.
So
All
Erus just brings out some rations, and which Erus's rations are like dried meats, cheeses, and like hunks of bread. Like it's just peasant's meal essentially. So
Iihane would walk after him, just not getting too close, giving him his space, but just making sure he's okay, just keeping an eye out. Eating her rations, which are a lot of like dried fruits and nuts and such, like more plant based. With a little bit of jerky in there, but not too much.
Okay.
Very fun trail mix.
All right. So, as you make your journey for the rest of the day before night falls when you arrive to Kokoto village. It goes by peacefully as well. You, on a rare occasion, you finally kind of catch the road and you follow it for about the second half of the day, seeing at least one merchant traveling away from the place. As you arrive in Kokoto village, it is a fairly small-ish village in terms of amenities. There is your kind of main thoroughfare that as you reach it as you go through a large wooden archway at the entrance of the town. To in front of you, you see hunters kind of sitting out in front of the guild hall, eating meals, sharing stories, having a good laugh. There's actually a kitchen outside of the guild hall in this place. It's a outdoor kitchen. You see Hunter homes down a street to the left as soon as you go through the entrance, with merchant stalls, blacksmithies near the guild hall as well. The roofs of them are all thatch with wooden buildings themselves with many windows. The roofs themselves and on the side of the walls. The roads are dirt. There's no paved area through this section. You can just see dug in cart tracks throughout the area. It's fairly busy as a stopping point for merchants that have hit Mine Guard, going to Dundorma, or up towards Riverroot. What do you guys do as you enter in? I mean, it is nighttime. So dusk probably set about an hour ago. I'd say 8 o'clock at night when you arrive.
Yeah, all set. And should we head to the guild to see about rooms for the night?
That is probably best.
Okay. No other options or suggestions have been made as you head to the guild hall. Guild hall is like almost every single one you've seen, though this one has wood walls. There is your long rows of benches and tables. There is your guild receptionist in the far back corner taking, at this point, probably just writing some notes, kind of doing the daily log versus giving hunters bounties for late night hunts. There is a small guild provisioner stockpile in the far back corner. And the Kokoto village chief is sitting somewhere actually at one of the benches and table. The few other little hunters and villagers around. So
Well, Iihane would go about like procuring rooms for the night for all four of them.
Yep.
Just a place to sleep.
it's free to you because you are hunters.
So yeah, I was just going to reserve them if anything else. Like make sure we had them.
Okay. As a question, does anybody have any materials on them, on their armor or weapon or trinkets that contains is from a Rathalos? I'll check Azrar.
Here.
If he does or not.
Not in any of my things.
Armor, no for him.
Let's see.
I do not.
I do not seem to.
It's like half artificer infusions, half materials for me.
Azrar does not as well.
I have more Kulu stuff than anything else.
You're very
Yeah,
feathery.
I don't even have any Rathalos items.
Because I have like a Kulu cosmetic, the feather dropping, and then I have a Kulu gem.
Nice. It does not look like he has any either.
Yeah, all the Rathos stuff is in our team stuff materials.
I need to find that fucking link so I can.
Characters, team Maizutsune, team stuff.
Well, then never mind. I was just curious if anybody had anything or not. So, you turn in, you're given rooms to stay for the night. Each of you have your own separate. Make sure you can have kind of double bed type of situation. They do I think as you're kind of getting stuff situated, Iihane, you Erus feel a tug at your whatever clothing you have on your shirt. So a tug from below.
I look down.
You see the village chief standing there, looking at you. Got a nice long white mustache that kind of curls down at the bottom. A very old wyverian. Did you know you're glowing? Just it's an odd thing. Not something you see every day, especially just coming in and back. I don't recognize you in the first place. Nice to meet you. Holds his hand out to shake your hand.
Erus will shake his hand.
It's a nice light. Good color.
What color is the light?
It's like a golden, like corn, like color. It's definitely got that kind of goldish corn.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's I would say like when you have like the warm, cool kind of color. It's definitely a warm color.
Hmm.
I mean, that's all I really wanted to say is you make sure you're aware of the situation.
Thank you for your concern.
If you need us to look at that, if it doesn't go away, just let us know. I'll be around the village hall, the guild hall.
I don't think it's an issue. And I very much doubt that there is anything anyone can do about it at the moment. But thank you.
No problem. I have been around for a long time, so I've seen a lot of things. Not necessarily glowing like this, but I've seen divine. Those affected by the divine before.
Thank you. I will think on your offer.
Okay. Enjoy your stay. And he just waddled away. Cane. So, the receptionist looks at you, honey. Here are your keys. Just return them in the morning when you are done with the room. Enjoy your stay and let us know if you need any.
Yes, I appreciate it. And I go to divvy out the keys to everybody.
Okay.
After I get my key, and as the group kind of disperses, I'm gonna go back to the guild person and I'm gonna hand them my key and go, do you have a room that is kind of towards the outskirts of the village at all? Or at least farther away from everyone else?
I mean, we do. Here. She puts her hand out for the key that you have.
I set it in her hand.
And she, 1 second. And then she kind of like goes around, like, reaches down into like one of the drawers, sifts through a bunch of keys. She goes, here you go. It is on the opposite end of toward the northern part of the village. Very last house on there.
Thank you.
Would you like me to let your party know, or
No.
was this about the glowy thing?
Yes.
Okay. Well, if you need anything, let us know.
I appreciate it. I just there's a lot of things going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I need time to figure it out.
Understandable. We'll be here. Knocks on wood.
Thank you.
Yep. Everybody heads to their rooms, it sounds like. I mean, it is still like 8 o'clock if you guys wanted to have food or you wanted to crash early, whatever your plans are.
Iihane would eat dinner first for sure.
Hmm?
I don't know about everybody else.
Yeah, I'd probably have something to eat. But then also start sending out information, um, particularly to the Academy about the um, ancient civilization
Portals.
teleportation. Yeah, both the portals, and then the information about the Drow City, uh, as well, and then I'll also send that to the Hunters Guild.
Okay.
Um,
Wipe them
and
out.
inform them that Azrar and Erus have attained a sort of fame down there, um, to add to the records, and then send out a personal letter, um, in whatever fashion, hopefully to Alton while he's doing his thing,
Mm-hmm.
for any advice on, uh, like the conception of Maisie, um, or like religious advice for the person he's hunted with for a little bit, um, and that sort of thing, and to get back to me as soon as possible, um, since there seems to be some sort of crisis,
Mm-hmm.
like a crisis of self, crisis of faith, um, that I personally don't know all the details to, but the the whole situation is we're we're in a dire situation, in the beginnings of a dire situation, and losing morale over a neutral, even positively helpful entity, um, is not something to myself worry
Mm-hmm.
about, but uh, it seems to be bringing down morale for others. So
Okay. Right.
While this is happening, Erus is going to go and purchase another trinket,
Cool.
which is like 5 gold, right?
A gold.
8 gold.
Yep.
Cool. So I'm gonna spend a platinum, and I'm gonna need my change. So that's 9 gold change, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
They don't deal with change in this city.
Yeah. We don't.
That's good.
Yeah. We don't have change. There's a shortage of coins right now.
That's neat. Yeah. So, and then I'm gonna put the Scarlet Finehorn in it,
Okay.
and that'll be my active trinket now.
Okay.
So now, critical hits against me will no longer be critical.
Oh, nice.
Um,
I'm looking
I'm
for a
doing
good
the armor
second
effect.
perk to put into my major staff, and I'll probably switch to that when that happens.
Okay.
And then after that, I will be going to my room.
Okay. So, I don't think Azrar has anything specific that I can think of that he'd want to do or talk about. So he probably just sits down with all set Iihane for dinner. You guys eat, do your things. He buys simple supplies if he wants to. As a player, you can do that later. And then he goes to bed when you guys. Is there anything all set or Iihane you guys want to do before we go over to Erus in his secluded home?
probably just doing a quick restock of ammo.
Okay.
Really.
You can feel free just to do that. Just type out what you get or something like that. That's fine. I trust you.
Yeah, I'm gonna do like rations and stuff. Just a quick restock of some of the smaller stuff.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Maybe another set of diamonds worth 300 since we're in town. Try to get that.
You can get that from the provisioners from the guild supplies.
So
Right. Erus.
Yeah.
You're in your like wooden temporary home.
Yeah.
All alone. There's the next closest house is probably a good 50 feet away from you.
Yeah. So Eris is gonna wait until he kind of hears things die down.
Okay. A couple hours.
Yep. And then he is going to leave his bags
Okay.
in the room. And he is going to leave the room with just his hammer and just walk about half a mile out of the village.
All right.
Um, and then he's just going to find a nice place just kind of out in the middle of the forest, and he's just going to crouch or kind of go down onto his knees with his hammer in front of him. And he's just going to say, "Who are you that has deigned to bless me now, and what is it that you want from me?"
Roll me another D100. You hear a woman's voice. Same voice you heard last. And she responds with, I am just here to with you.
This pain would not exist if it weren't for that creature that took everything from me.
Iihane, you start to hear words in your head as well. And it's the same words that are being spoken. Erus, which you hear the response to, I am aware of the abomination. Assist you. Endeavor.
You know about it. Why didn't you do anything?
There are reasons that
Don't understand? You don't understand. I lost everything that mattered to me. My mother, my siblings. Yes, we didn't get along always, but they're gone now because that fucked up freak of nature decided to wash its sickness over them. Everyone that I ever knew and I ever loved is gone now because of that. And if you have this power to be wherever you are and to grant blessings to others, you should have fucking done something. Why is it that I am so special to have been able to been left to live with these memories of them and be stuck with the burden of trying to bring about the end to this creature so no one else has to suffer like I have? It's not fucking fair. And as he says that, he stands up and throws his hammer into the nearest tree.
Okay. You hear the loud crashing as the tree breaks. And her response to that is, it is not within my power to see everything. I cannot protect. If I could, the world would be as it. But I can help with. I'm here to do that. Here to help that no one else will feel you. Here to set, not also have you that was doing. That was your own power. But there are things like me that do not wish to and distort nature. And maybe gift you a boon. Also ask.
Ask away.
I ask that you take care of the creature that took away your life. I ask that you would allow me to assist you and lead you on a path to protect others, not just for vengeance. That to keep the balance. And then you hear, as you're thinking, you hear the words, and Iihane, I think the same.
So it's at that point that Iihane realizes that the voice is not talking to her until that last sentence.
Uh-huh.
I want you to know this. I will kill that creature no matter what. That you can be certain on. But I'm not doing it because you asked. And I'm not going to set aside my vengeance. It is the only thing that has kept me alive this long. My anger isn't some sickness that needs to be healed. It is the only thing that has been driving me these past years. I might be cool and composed most of the time, even in the midst of combat, but that is only because of my father's teachings. On the inside, I am a roiling sea of anger and vengeance. And once that fucking creature is dead, I will join it in hell to dish out its punishment. That you can be certain of. And I go and pick up my hammer and just walk in a direction for the better part of an hour before heading back to the village. Occasionally just screaming out in emotional pain and anguish and thrashing into the nearest tree or rock or whatever is there to break.
Okay. And then I think the last thing you hear before she says nothing is just remember your mother's teeth as well. And at that point, the light around you fades for now. Hane. What abomination, what endeavors?
Yeah, just responding to the voice, but I just assumed it ignored me
It
to
did.
continue talking with him.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to interrupt it just to say that.
Mm-hmm.
When the voice mentions my mother, Erus just stops moving and breaks down.
Mm-hmm. Erus, your coat that you've worn forever is, as you're sitting there, is mended and made as new.
Once Erus returns to his room, for the first time since his father's death, he takes the coat off, folds it, and puts it on a shelf, and sleeps in the bed. Every other time that he has been in a village and had a room, he has always slept on the ground without any blankets or anything. and you guys would have noticed that he doesn't use a bedroll when traveling, um, and he doesn't use any blankets or anything other than uh, his father's coat. Um, and for the first time in years, he goes to sleep on a bed under covers.
Okay.
My first thought is that has to be so uncomfortable because you're used to uncomfort, and that's probably too comfortable to be comfortable.
Hey, maybe.
There's a difference between being used to uncomfort because that's what's comfortable to you, and being used to uncomfort because of the fact that you are forcing yourself to be uncomfortable as a driving factor for something.
Fair. Completely fair.
He like Erus understands that beds are comfortable and he prefers the comfort of a soft warm bed, but he does not allow himself those luxuries. So yeah.
Trying to think if she speaks style. She leaves you. And the part about your mother, Iihane, you did not. You
Okay.
also never heard any of Erus's responses or anything like that. You only heard
Yeah.
her.
I heard half of
Yeah.
half of a telephone call.
So Iihane, I think you don't get a response, but in the night, what are your dreams normally like?
Um, I think they are mixed. Like very rarely, like 10%, they are like nightmare still images
Mm-hmm.
of how she changed. But 90% of the time, honestly, they are um both the nature above ground and below ground, like her time afterwards, like her devotion to the chaoticness of nature, like waterfalls, like and rivers destroying land in a different way, that kind of thing. Like it's the chaos of nature that she dreams about. And also now her friends, like hunting with her new comrades in arms, because they are the first people she's actually spent meaningful time with in years.
Mm-hmm. So, you do not, in this case of this dream, it is vividly different. As you sleep, the one dream you remember as you wake up in the morning is of a waterfall that just reaches up into the heaven, falling down into this pool of still water. Even as the water crashes down, that leads through a small stream that trickles down the bright light below. And in it, you see a couple different like symbology. You see a like piece of corn. You see a bow and arrow. You see a tiger with flaming mane. You see a few others as well. A woman looks to be an in like a high elf, just in. I would say like close to like a toga type style. Currently, just like picking up some of the or gathering some water in a clay jug, and then pouring it and watering the plants around this still pond. And she just kind of looks at you, smile, and kind of goes, "I think we'll meet soon." Or kind of fades.
Do I get any sense of familiarity with her, or
You do. The voice is very similar to mine.
okay?
And then you all wake up in the morning, refreshed to an extent of what you choose to be. Um, you have not received any kind of letter back yet. All set.
Yeah, can't imagine.
Yeah, it's probably gonna take a couple days for information to get you.
Mhm.
But you're all awake. You're all at Koto Village. You meet up for breakfast. Erus is not glowing currently.
I think before he sits down, I would try to get Eris by themselves,
Mhm.
just to mention to him that like Eris. Before we sit with everybody, I would like to ask you how you're doing. I heard Maya's voice last night, and it very clearly was not talking to me most of the time.
Erus will lean in a bit closer to you, and like kind of whisper to you. I'm going to give you this warning once. We never speak about this again.
That
Ever.
that
I
is
don't
why
care how close you are to me. This does not get brought up again. I don't want to talk about it. I don't even want to think about it. You bring this up again, and I will not hesitate to liquefy your bones.
that is why I didn't want to bring it up in front of others. And then she walks away, getting basically the answer that she's going to get.
Okay.
But she would talk about the strange dream at the table. Like her dream, not anything that was from awakeness. Just about how she had the dream of the waterfall, about the symbols she saw, and how a woman that she didn't recognize the look of, but recognizes the voice of, said that we that she thinks we'll meet soon.
That is foreboding, to say the least.
I agree. That's why I felt like I should. It if they meet with me in person, it almost guaranteed and like ensures that it will include you. So I don't want anybody not to know.
Of course. Uh, and to to that extent as well, jumping off, I have sent word over to Alset or Altan.
Get you with your own
Concern,
names.
yeah, concerning the nature of his faith and uh, how it has uh, brought you into, or at least you, and I'll point to Erus, and you, and I'll point to Azrar, within his circle. And I have asked for any advice concerning thereof, as well as any update on his investigation on a previous companion of yours.
Okay. Someone with experience with this would be useful to bounce ideas off of. Um,
Neat.
Erus, like, you can tell he's not listening. Like, he's sitting there with like his food in front of him. He's just kind of like poking it with a fork, kind of looking vacantly off in the distance and like muttering to himself.
And I'll look over to Iihane and I'll just say, hopefully he gets back to me soon enough.
Iihane nods. So, I guess we should look into transport then. I assume you being how you are, all set, that you've already sent out reports to those who need to. Otherwise, then, Alton, I guess we should look into transport to Riverview then.
Riveroo, you say, as the village chief comes walking up. You're gonna need some wool. 1 minute.
Oh?
Yep. It's especially this time of season. Winter, it's never easy to get through those mountains. Wolves will make it much. Let me see what we can do.
Well, we appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got me rethinking things.
I'm sorry.
God damn it.
Hey, that's always good storytelling, though. It makes you think different things. Like, damn it, I didn't even think of that.
Character building.
Plan for building this character, and now, depending on
Champ.
how things go, we might be changing it.
You're good. So, as Erus is planning out the rest of his life again, what are the?
Erus is in the middle of emotional turmoil
Yes.
right now.
Yeah.
Like, he is.
Are you wearing your coat?
Yeah, he would have put it on.
Okay.
In the morning, but he is being a lot more careful while eating and
Mhm.
stuff. And probably would either have taken it off while we're eating, so as not to get anything on it,
Yeah.
or would like have like a bib and then like a napkin on his like lap, and then a separate napkin like next to him for his hand. Like he'd be unusually cleanly during like eating and stuff.
Mhm.
But he even after everything that was said, I was like, cool, 90% of this doesn't phase Erus, whatever. And then the last fucking thing is like, oh, okay. Ow.
The feel.
So yeah, Erus is like in emotional turmoil and trying to remember every little detail about everything his mother had ever taught him. So
I think we also run into like Azrar kind of like sitting there eating his food and something like, "You okay over there?" Or just eating like as he's looking at you, just making sure everything's good. He's the one who's gonna point out the awkwardness.
Erus doesn't notice.
All
Like,
right,
he's
he just keeps eating.
Yeah.
I think once we're done with breakfast and we're going about our business,
Mhm.
Iihane would also talk to Allset alone. It just making a mention he heard Maya's voice last night, but not what was said, saying it wasn't his,
Mhm.
like, it wasn't directed to him, so he's not repeating anything.
Mhm.
But it was the first time Maya didn't talk to him directly that he heard the voice. Or Iihane heard the voice.
It's also the first time
because-
you've seen her.
Yeah. Yeah, because I told him about the dream already. That I saw someone I didn't recognize, but it had Maya's voice. But it's never happened that I didn't hear the voice talk to me that I assumed.
Give me as a real fast thing. Give me a history check really fast. I want to see if you remember one interesting thing about that I hadn't picked up.
Hey.
The woman that you were looking at, mouth didn't move when you heard the.
And I would actually like mention that as part of the dream too. Now that I think back during the dream, I heard Maya's voice, but the woman that was in my dream wasn't speaking.
in such a way that would not
The
denote
mouth,
normal. I see.
yeah, the mouth was not moving. It could have been something telepathic because Maya always talks in my head, but it still bears knowing.
Of course, and I'll jot that down as a as a physical copy. And this situation gets more complicated by the day, by the hour. Honestly, really by the minute.
I know it was a lot more simple when only I heard the voice. I at least knew she was talking to me.
And now it has spread.
Hey, maybe it'll get simple and you'll hear her too. I won't have to translate anything.
I have enough on my I have enough on my plate that I don't need to worry about that. I would rather not worry or have any questions about the mysteries of the higher powers or gods.
Either way, Azrar seems also to worship this Maisie. If that's the connection that is being made, we might want to keep an eye on him. He might also start hearing the voice.
And I'll just look over at Azar. I will keep my eyes open. Thank you.
Of course. And if you ever need anything, I know you sent messages off. As I stated before, I can send messages if I'm familiar enough with somebody, if I get to know them. It might just be a quicker way to get a hold of old friends of yours that you contact.
Hmm. That that is a methodology. Yes. Perhaps we can work together to create some to transcribe these in a format that everyone can use.
Yeah.
But we have pressing issues.
Oh, well,
Where's
of course.
the? And I'll look around for the gentleman who has not introduced himself and was blatantly eavesdropping on our
Oh, yeah,
breakfast conversation.
that was the village chief.
Yeah.
He,
Would he have had like something to denote his station or?
the village like chiefs probably would have. I
Probably
don't.
a robe or something.
Let's see here. I would say you probably. I can't remember what he looks like. Best.
Ooh, wait, I don't need that anymore.
Who's that? So not necessarily. I mean, he has on Koto village colors. He's got a kind of a brown and blue robe that is draped over him. The shoulders are blue with most of the coat being brown. It's inlaid with some different intricate designs, with some white ivory white, blue with the lines themselves. Wearing two belt buckles or two belts that is covering his what kind of type of shirt it is, but kind of a gi with, and he has um no shoes whatsoever, and he's kind of wearing like a kilt-ish like bottom. He is old, kind of the Fu Manchu-esque like mustache, completely white, no hair, Wyverian ears drooped downwards. He is old, extremely. But I mean, everybody. I mean, as you've been in here, you've watched. Everybody treats him with respect. There's no. I think that's probably the easiest way you get the hint about it.
Mm-hmm.
He also did. He is also the same person that asked Erus about if he knew if he was glowing or not last.
I don't know.
Yeah,
if
he
we
was
do that for
sitting
that.
at the. No, we were at like when he was getting the room.
Getting
and
the rooms
whatnot.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just look around for him.
He probably comes back in with kind of a smile on his face. You know, the guy's got the biggest eyebrows you've ever seen. You almost can't see his eyes; they're so big. And he comes in, smiling. All right, they're all set. We have a set of 4 wogs for you all with small sleds for easy travel. Is there anything else you need?
I don't know if you need anything else. Iihane wouldn't need anything.
Yeah, I am very thankful for this rapid acquisition of transportation.
It is not an issue. It's a simple thing for me. And I'm quite aware of what you are all doing. So
Of course.
All the same, it is appreciated. Whether it's expected or not, it's appreciated.
is not a problem. Oh, if you need anything, I'll be over there. And he starts like walking away, just like.
Like, I have other things to do now. Yeah, Iihane would just see to the sleds, make sure we have everything.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll call out to Erus. Erus, we have acquired transportation. We will be leaving soon. Gather your things and meet us outside when you are able.
Erus doesn't seem like he heard you.
Azrar throws a piece of bread at you. Hey, gonna be going soon. Get your shit.
Next time you throw something at me,
I'll expect you to catch it. Yes.
no. I was gonna say make sure it's the thing that kills me. And he looks over at Alton. Sorry, what did you say? Or Alset, sorry.
We have arrived.
Okay. I mean, Erus has like all of his shit on him.
Ready.
So yeah, give me like 5 minutes and I'll be good to go.
Of course.
And Erus,
and I'll just go outside.
yeah, Erus stands up from the table, looks at his plate of food that has been mostly untouched, and just picks it up and throws it at Azrar. Just kind of a offhanded throw.
I'm gonna have Azrar make a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah.
He's dexterous. Oh, he's really dexterous. But it's me making it. Okay, it's 16. Go ahead and give me make an athletics roll. I feel like that's an even comparison. All right.
I'm not like trying to like throw it at him hard. It's just kind of like I pick it up and like toss it. Like
yeah, like some of it like splashes out, you know, a little bit. Like he like stands up, but not quick enough, and some gets like on his pants. Like, fuck.
I could use a little more food. Skinny boy walks away. Erus will walk over to the guild master.
Okay.
Thank you for providing transport for my group, and I might return at some point and take you up on that offer of knowledge.
It is not a problem, and yes, feel free to come back. I know what you all are doing is very important. All of us are aware, so I hope you get your work done as quickly as possible to solve this issue.
Yeah.
Be safe.
Thank you. Just so you know, while I was figuring some things out last night, and I'll kind of tell him like where I was and stuff, and not give him too much detail, but I'll just kind of say like, anger got the best of me a bit in that area. So there's probably some lumber and other resources that I would hate to go to waste.
Very well, we'll look into it, and no worries. The anger gets to the best of us. I would know.
Thank you for your understanding.
Mhm.
And then Erus would just kind of give him a clap on the shoulder and then walk away.
Okay. All right. You exit out. There are 4 wolves set up on like single person sleds where you have ability to put all your like equipment and stuff in the front of you. It's a dog sled, is what it is, but with wolves, tamed wolves for travel. So
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Iihane folds herself up in the back. Looks comical, but it's hilarious.
You just sit.
Erus will
I
put his like 6 bags of holding on the front, but he keeps his hammer by his feet in the back.
Okay. That's too good. And then you guys begin your journey, I guess, unless you have anything else you wish to do.
No, I don't have
Ah.
anything.
Okay. Then we head out with Iihane making the survival check. We're going to assume it's going to be an extra hex per distance just to make it easy on me for travel.
Yeah.
It is going to slow down once you hit the mountains, though, as you have different height, depth, and it's not nearly as easy to get through. So, 15. All right.
Yeah, first of all, like sub 20, I rolled to the fortnight.
You guys would also get another long rest if you haven't. I don't think you guys used anything during that last travel, so.
In the night, I probably would have used a rage or two.
Fair.
If we're being honest.
That's fair. And then also,
So-
if you would roll me for weather. Let's see what the weather's.
Of course.
While you guys are doing this, I'm gonna go get a refill on coffee real fast.
Not allowed. Go for it. Okay. It is still, it's a very warm winter day. We're looking somewhere in the 50s. A lot of the snow is melting, causing a lot of water run down along the mountainside. So you're still kind of traveling along through the hills themselves. It's slushy, it's slippery here and there for the wolves, and would be even more difficult for you, if you weren't having them assist you in the first place. As we begin our journey. Click some buttons. I have to do the higher level one.
Oh, fun.
In any case, you're level 11. Well, I don't remember. You're in my
Oh,
11.
11.
7, yeah.
Can I just say this session's been amazing roleplay? I loved it the whole time.
It's been going well. How did I get 2 of the same again? Why am I bad? I don't. Or should
You're just bad at it, I guess.
How to go with? And then pop up.
I love how I'm looking at that, and it's like all of them are the same. Do you have the number? Like,
It always
wrong
shows
in
one,
there?
and then one just shows up just now. Like, is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 1, 1, 1.
Yeah, it
I'm
rolls.
like,
But if I highlight over the 1, it tells you what it is.
okay, well that's good.
Yeah, so it's a nice little trick.
It,
But I'm not happy with any of these things.
oh, you have it rolling as disadvantage, don't you? Or rolling
No.
one...
I don't. It just always. There's only one option, so it's always a 1 no
Oh,
matter
okay.
what.
Oh, I thought it was something else. No, okay.
Yeah, no, it's just encountered.
I thought you did that to hide it.
I mean, I do try to. I like it. I just don't know how to get the other ones not show up, or I'd have them all always hide because then it hides from the stream. Because a lot of them I use them as inspiration and not necessarily exactly as they say. Okay. So as you begin your journeys, in some cases I do use them. You're following the road for the most part, heading to River. There is a road from Kokoto Village to Riveroo, though once you hit the mountains, it's a bit more dicey. And the snow itself makes it a bit more harder to follow the road, though it seems like the wolves roughly know the way already. And as you begin making your way, you eventually stop about midday for some lunch and stuff like that. And you stop near a shrine. The shrine itself is a shrine of.
The only negative thing about one of the negative things about having a god typically evil is you don't find random shrines dedicated to her because people tend to feel upset about that.
Just slightly.
Like, oh wow, there's a shrine of Loth here. I wonder how evil that is
Mhm.
going to be.
These people must be really friendly.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you find a shrine that is. Why don't I have their symbol? I used to have them up here, and then I removed them to make space. Yeah, we'll just use him. So you find one. It is a what looks to be like an elf. It's a male elf in this case. They have in their hand an acorn with a very large leaf, just in its palm. It's set atop of a small, square platform that is right along the side of the road. It is not covered by anything. It's just open to nature, and you see different little bits of ivy and stuff like that growing up on it and stuff. It's not necessarily completely cared for, but it's not not in dilapidated shape. That's where you guys rest.
I would like to not touch it per se, but examine the shrine just to see if I could identify the god it's attached to.
Yeah, give me a religion check.
Ooh, finally my rolls start turning sour.
Mm-hmm.
I expected it.
A 7, you're looking at it, I mean, there's like 7 different ones you can think of off the top of your head. You're not sure if it's any of them or not. It could be, it could not be, but you aren't sure.
Not knowing it, I'm not gonna touch it because why? Certain gods are perfectly fine with touching their shrines and stuff. If I don't know the god, I don't want to find out. Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys do anything, or you guys just kind of eat?
I'll probably check it out just to because observing faith isn't Allset doesn't necessarily have a faith,
Right.
but observing and practicing the little things he believes provides a good enough metric and nothing bad will come. He just doesn't want anything to just be careful,
Yeah.
Sorry. Religion.
Should move you guys to where you're actually at. 22. So looking at it, trying to distinguish some of the symbology and stuff like that, you recognize this to be a shrine to the Forest Father, Sylvanas. He is, as far as you know, is one of the main gods of nature, and at one point was human, or not human, but he was
Mortal.
mortal. There's the word for there. Thank you very much. He is very much, the church is very much about the preservation of the sacred balance, not necessarily nature itself, but the balance of everything. And that can lead to, in some cases, the wiping out of people, of animals, that invasive species and stuff like that. He is in a sense, the most neutral god there is in the world of monsters.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what you know.
Does Allset relay just any of the information about Sylvanas to us? Or that we even... Does Allset say that it's a statue to Sylvanas, or just kind of keep quiet about it?
I'll take a look at the iconography and all that, and then just make note of it.
Mhm.
This is a statue to Sibylanus. Be careful of the cycle, and sort of tread lightly, really, making sure not to, do our thing and then move on, but
Mhm.
not like leave a big impact.
Okay.
As
Go.
as you mentioned that it's Sylvanus, Erus would like kind of look up. Also, for this whole other day of travel as well, Erus wouldn't have said shit
Mhm.
and would have just kind of again been like visually perturbed and like 1,000-yard stare. And this is like the first time he's kind of like come back for a moment. And he'll stand up and walk over to the statue,
Mhm.
and pull out just uh, a grouping of herbs and meats and whatnot that he has from uh, hunting and ration and other preparing for making rations and stuff like that. And he'd lay them along the altar, um, and would pull out a small bundle of incense that he had that was his mother's.
Mhm.
Um, they're not. It's not like special incense or like religious in any way, but it's just something that reminded him of home. And he pulls one of the few remaining sticks out and uh, uses thaumaturgy to light it. Um, will kneel for a minute, saying a silent prayer. Walk back to the group and sit down next to the fire and just my mother used to worship Sylvanus. Actually, most of our tribe used to. I learned a great deal about how important the balance of nature is, was, um, and that in nature, nothing is without cause and is without effect. But it is because of nature that everything is the way that it is. And eventually, one day, everything must return to nature. I used to think that all of that was bullshit until recently. And then
Iihane,
with tears kind of streaming down his eyes, um, Erus will lay out his bedroll and just kind of lay down on his bedroll, I should say, and just kind of lay down on his back looking at the stars.
So did you buy a bedroll while you were in town?
Erus has always had one.
Oh, okay.
He just never uses it.
but
Like
always on the like it's all dented and stuff because it's like fallen from years of just sitting
Yeah,
on the backpack.
That's
he
fine,
he
yeah.
keeps one. He's always kept one as a reminder of a luxury that he is just out of reach for him. So yeah, this would be the first time you guys have seen me put out a bedroll and use it.
Iihane would make a mental note of that, but assume that it has something to do with that conversation she's not allowed to bring up, so just fire it away.
Yeah.
If that ever changes, Eris would come to her. Like
Also,
not
Erus did not walk away from the group. Like walk away from the fire. He just laid it out still next to the fire.
Mm.
So he's still staying within the group, but is just kind of laying there, arms like behind his head and just looking up at the sky.
Iihane sets up her reb hammock and sleeps like that picture I showed.
Nope.
Looking over from sipping hot leaf water, I just look over at Erus,
He warmed up the scotch.
and then like look over at Iihane, sort of finish it off, write some notes down. Like little journal style. And then sort of get up. I suppose then I will take the first watch. And
If you
as
don't want to, Azrar can.
no, I think this will be good, and I'll take the first watch.
Okay. Were you going to say something, Erus?
I was gonna say Erus would like to take the last watch.
Okay.
I'll probably take either the second or third, whichever one is in the darker portion of the night.
I would probably assume the third then.
Yeah. Just because Iihane would always volunteer when it's darkest, just because she sees best.
Fair. Perception. So, fucking, I've rolled 20 and 23 every single freaking time.
I know.
Stupid. Okay.
I mean, technically, you're rolling kind of low because of the fact that
Yeah, he's only
he gets a
rolling
plus 10 and a plus 13.
basically rolling a 10 and a 10 and 11 is what you roll.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty
Average.
sure he's just straight up on a level 11 rogue, so he has reliable talent. So
It's guaranteed, 10? Automatically, 10
Guaranteed.
and then plus stuff.
Yeah.
If he has it tagged on the sheet.
Yeah, because this your second roll looks like it was an 8.
Damn cheating scouts.
Fucking reliable talent.
Oh,
just rogue things.
just
That's why you have to play a rogue rabbit so that you can reliable talent initiative.
The thing is, with rogues, I feel like it's just fitting for their class to have things like this that just seem like it's cheating because it's a fucking rogue. Like
Mhm.
it's like the only class that's like, oh no, it makes sense that he's just straight up cheating.
Mhm.
Yeah, dodging so he doesn't take damage just because he happened to pass.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Not
he
being
didn't
able
pass.
to roll below a certain number, even if he rolls below it, it's like, no.
So, as a question, all set. What is the type of tools you have right now? Is it thieves' tools, alchemist tools? What's the tool set you have current?
So I don't make anything with the right tool for the job. I just straight up have the actual tool sets.
Right. I was
in
curious.
separate-
Oh, I thought you had one. You had to switch between them. Like they
I
magically transform.
can, but I keep physical sets that I don't need to switch them out for.
Okay. So okay.
Um,
During your watch, as you're sitting there, keeping an eye out for things, as your watch comes to an end, you turn back and look back at the camp, and one, let's say your smithing tools, you see the hammer in the fire, like it was like it's starting, like the handle starting to light up on fire right now.
like in
In
one
the
of
campfire,
bags.
like in the campfire,
Oh, like it's been put there.
yes. You sure?
Ah, games. I see. Well,
You pull the hammer out of the fire just to clarify, because it is currently getting lit on fire.
yeah. Yeah, those are kind of specialty tools. So I'll just. What can I do? I will. We'll see. I will go ahead and cast Thaumaturgy to dim the fire, and then go for the tool itself.
Okay. Yeah, you grab the tool. It is on fire as you pat it out. You don't take any
Just
damage
smother
for
it.
it. Yeah.
Just, yeah.
It's got a little burn mark at the edge end of the handle. That's all. As you go to wake up, I guess Azrar, you go to wake.
Yeah. And I'll just make note. There's something out there that likes to play games. Be careful of your things on you. Or if you can, do your best to indulge it.
Let's see what we can do. Azrar's turn. On Azrar's watch. What is it? Yeah, okay. So on Azrar's watch, as he's kind of looking around, keeping an eye on thing, he hears the clanging of metal like right next to him. And as he looks down, he sees a pair of handcuffs. And then he goes like swipe, like hits them to swipe them away, and he just passes through the illusion. You just hear? Doesn't see anything. Nothing else happens during it. As he wakes up you, Iihane, informs you there's something out here fucking with us. Kill it if you find it. Honey, you're why.
Spot on impression of Whistle. Iihane was set her down for her watch. Trying to keep an extra eye open for whatever is messing with people.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Do I have something to help me with that? I don't think so. But yeah, I just set her down and just try to keep an extra eye open.
Okay. As you're kind of keeping an eye open, looking around, seeing what you can find, you feel something like hit you on top of the head, just, and like falls to the ground. Another one, and as you do, it ends up like falling in your hand, and you see a fly that's not moving. Yeah, fly that's not moving, that's dead, and then you feel as like 20 to 30 just dead flies just like fall onto you.
She slowly turns to look at whatever is dropping.
Yeah, you see nothing.
She says, I am always one for an amusing joke. However, you cannot share a laugh without knowing who's playing the joke.
You get no response.
She just kind of tosses the flies into the fire.
Mm-hmm.
I guess she continues her watch.
Okay. No other flies fall on you? No other things happen? Oh, no, I lied. Right near the end of your watch, as you're getting up to turn around to wake up Erus, you see a vial, golden vial, just out of all sets pack, just sitting there. You sure?
I do not know what you know about that, but I do not need that now. And I will pick it up off the ground because I don't want to leave it out in the open.
Right.
Whatever this thing is taking stuff from our packs, no matter whether if we know or not. But I definitely I want to like tuck it back into his pack because whether it can take it or not, I don't want to have anybody step on it. If anything else.
Okay.
And then I would wake up Erus and like Azrar inform him that something is playing jokes on us and tell him about the flies and about how it got the vial out of Allset's pack. And just be careful, Erus. I don't know what else it would do.
I will go about my watch.
Yep.
Trying to be hyper aware of what is around me and
Okay.
what's, you know.
Yeah. So the simplest and like simple prank, but emotionally damaging. As Erus, as you're sitting on keeping an eye on things, looking around, you don't see anything. And then for a brief second you feel like your coat feels a little weird as it then throws the coat, your coat, tries to toss it over your head. And you should...
Erus would not have been wearing his coat at this point.
Okay, so it doesn't have your coat on. So you
Yeah,
see
it would
your
be in
coat.
his, it would be in his one of his bags of holding.
Cheater. So
he is taking extra care of it now.
all right. So instead,
I mean, I do still have like a blouse shirt that's
Yeah.
like loose.
yeah. So it does that instead to that.
Okay.
Okay, it tries to, and then it just like.
As I just feel the tug, I'm going to just reach behind and try and grab whatever's doing that.
Make a sleight of hand with disadvantage.
Okay.
Gotta take a check now. And expect a 19 on a disadvantage. Cool. Extra stats. Okay, I have a chance. I mean, it's me making a save though, so I have no chance.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, it's a
Oh.
tie. Tie goes to the defender, sir.
All right.
So you grab, you feel something for the briefest of seconds as you like, meh, as you pull, and you're holding a tiny little shoe in your between your like your thumb and your finger, your index finger.
I'll pull the blouse off of my face and I'll just turn around and look into the darkness and I go, "Do you want your shoe back?"
It just does the spitting noise, and that's all it does. I don't know if Discord blocked it or not for you guys.
And I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, it blocked it. Then stupid Discord in their like filter for yelling.
I don't want or need your shoe. I don't really have a reason to keep it or destroy it. If you want it back, you just have to come out here and take it. I'm not gonna try and do anything to you.
Okay, so you hear from behind you. Because you're kind of just like looking around.
Mhm.
We trade. As you turn around, you see it holding up one of your bags of holding. It may or may not have the bill in your coat. It's just one of the 6 of them that you have on the cart.
Right, yeah.
We trade.
I mean, okay.
And it's, you toss my shoe that way, and I'll put this back down. And you see,
How about-
what you see is, because it shows itself, is a pixie. Little wings fluttering
Okay.
about, one shoe missing, the like
Nice.
leaf skirt and stuff like that. The little weird little hair that curls up.
Fucking
How about
bang.
this? Because I'm trying to be in a better mood. You set that down. I will give you this shoe and an item out of that bag. If you just stop playing pranks on us and sit and talk with me for a minute.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Nice.
It kind of looks at you, squints, slowly lowers it down while still squinting at you. Sits it down and like sits down on it.
I will,
Well, on the sled.
I will stand up, walk over to it, and crouch down slowly and hand its chew to it.
It's watching you carefully, ready to run. Put the chew on while
And then
looking at you.
I will slowly reach into the bag that it let go of,
Mhm.
and this would probably, because I would know what's in the different bags.
Yes, you would.
This would be my bag of just stuff that has random bits and pieces in it.
Mhm.
And I'll pull out one of the other 3 quality sacks that I have, and
Okay.
I'll look at the pixie and go, if you have a bag or some other just trinket necklace item, and you infuse this into it, you can have a bag like that holds much more than it seems like it can. And when you reach in and think of something that is in the bag, you pull out that item. But if you reach in and think of something that's not in the bag, you get nothing. It's very useful for travel, and especially useful if you want to keep things in something that make it practically weightless for you to carry. Here you go.
It's gigantic compared to the pixie.
Oh, I don't let go of it as it grabs it.
Uh-huh.
I
Uh-huh.
hold on to it for a second, and I go, there's one other condition of this.
Change the deal. I like you.
You have to play tricks on a trickster. I want you, anytime you come across hunters in this forest and decide to play pranks on them, I want you to choose one of them to reveal yourself to and make a trade with. I don't care if you steal random items from merchants or others, for it is in your nature to play tricks and to steal and take things. I'm not going to ask you to not do that, but I am going to ask you to do an act of kindness when you come across a group of hunters and make a trade. One item of yours for one item of theirs. It doesn't matter the value, but do so in your own honest, good heart. Try and give them something that you really think will help them. I'm not going to make any threats. I can't guarantee that I will ever be able to find you again. And I'm not going to say if I do find you again and find out that you haven't been doing this, that I'm going to do anything about it. All I'm going to do is hope and have faith that you're going to try and do something to make a difference in some people's lives.
It sounds. Yeah, okay. It sounds fun.
That'll let go of the bag. And then, along with that, I will pull out a Great Macau scale
Mhm.
and hand that over as well. And I'll go, this can be the first item in that bag.
I like you. You're interesting. Bye now. And just
I will go back by the fire and look up at the statue of Sylvanus,
Mhm.
and then look up to the stars. And
Is your mom on your back? Your tattoo?
yes, I have each of the family members that I lost on my back, including some of the names of ancestors that I did not know.
Okay.
Including a few on my father's side.
Okay.
Not a lot, but a couple.
I think you see, as you look at the statue of Sylvanas, you see her spirit, doing a prayer. Back facing you, just praying to Sylvanas.
I'm trying to do better. As much as it pains me to say this, that voice has a point. That misguided anger might not be the way to go. I'm trying. And I'll look up to the sky and just
Mhm.
go, I cannot guarantee that I can turn over a new leaf, but I will try.
I think that's when you probably like feel your mom, like her spirit hand, like on your cheek, and then it just kind of like slowly like slides off and then vanishes back into your back.
Erus will finish his watch, tears streaming down his face, but with a smile the entire time.
You wake up in the morning, pretty well rested for your normal rest, as you continue your journeys into the Himmerun Mountains. So, we still got some time left in the game, so let's go ahead and get another day out of the way. There's felt like 2 at least solid points in this where we could just be like, that's the end of the stream, but we got to keep going.
Means we're gonna get to a point where we're attacked. It's a middle combat. And it's like we have to end.
We're ending right here.
I'm like, I've been thinking we're gonna fight something at some point, and it hasn't happened. I'm like, oh, okay. We're just gonna keep diving into.
I'm rolling.
into that.
I'm rolling
yeah.
high and low. There's no in between right now.
Oh,
Would you happen to like a trailblazing check?
I would.
Huh.
There I go. Back to normal.
Yeah, I've been rolling 1s and 20s the entire time we've been on stuff. So I've been rolling. We're getting shrines. We're getting random events. We're getting pixies. All right.
It's been great fun though.
So.
I hate this.
All right. You begin your ascent of the Himmerun mountain. It is slow going. We're actually gonna make it a day for each path, even with the wolves at this point. The mountains themselves are not travel friendly, even with the pathways you have from Riveroo to Kokoto Village. It's still rough and difficult. The path it takes is up and down through the minor steeper points of these mountains, and they're in between valleys that are just filled with snow. And now at this point, a bit of ice because of how warm it's been it's freezing over once again. So it is dangerous and difficult, but still doable with the wolves. And your first day goes by peacefully as you attempt to find a place to rest for the night. Do some numbers.
You rolled slightly worse on the perception.
There's no way I'm gonna beat that.
That's what, 25?
I mean, there's still a chance with modifiers over there. There's still definitely a potential chance, but
Yeah.
not at the very, very moment. So, the first day and night go by peacefully after your events at the Shrine of Sylvanas. I'm gonna put a marker here. From the web. We'll use this one. In here. Oh, I have at least. Can you guys see the name? Cool, you cannot. Perfect. Map. Okay. So yeah, first day and night after the shrine goes by peacefully as we go into our second day. If you would,
Okay.
okay. The day goes by with no real issues other than the fact that all set do happen though he's AFK at the moment. I believe. Let's see. Yeah, okay. You see all set, and I guess everybody else would too since he is currently on. The occasional you see large like shards of ice implanted into the snow every so often. You see in large like movement through the snow. The snow is probably a couple feet deep, and you're just seeing these what looks to be just massive leg path, roughly probably I don't know about a foot or so wide for each leg, just pushing through the snow. You don't see anything. There's no danger from what you can tell during that day, but you're kind of seeing signs of little things here and there of ice and movement for sure. Large creature in the nearby vicinity. Nighttime. I'm just gonna roll and see if I get close enough to see if I can beat his. Okay, I need to roll. Plus 10, so that is exactly what it is. So that mention of those things in the previous or during the daytime come to light a bit more at night as Azrar is looking for a place to rest. And as he's trying to find a place, you find a cave up on one side of these steep mountain sides. It's the only cover you see anywhere in the and as Azrar heads up that way to investigate it, he comes running back and just incoming as you watch as this yeti-like creature with a sword made of ice attached to his hand comes running out after him.
Oh fuck.
Nice.
Okay.
It was running out. There you got your combat. I think we have I don't know if we have enough time or not. I'm trying to think.
It's gonna end exactly like I said it is.
We're gonna end
halfway
it.
through.
We're gonna end it now. We'll add an extra couple minutes to the next one because we're only 10 minutes away roughly from it. I gotta do experience. We can talk a bit about the stuff while on stream or whatnot.
I had amazing fun. I loved the roleplay of this.
There was a lot of detail.
Same towards you, Aphid. I loved the roleplay with Erus. It was very entertaining.
Yeah, this is the only character I've spent enough time with to actually really understand the character like really well. Which makes this roleplay stuff a lot easier. But also, like, fuck this shit. I don't.
Feelings, right?
Yeah, emotions, bad. No, I
Mhm.
was
I
originally made Erus just be like, yeah, you'll be good at protecting his friends. It'll be great. And then we started doing,
the
getting
actual campaign
into
and you're
like actual campaign. I'm like, okay, I think I'm like, oh, with him being around like Alden for so long and like Maisie and stuff kind of being brought up, like Erus would probably like kind of start dabbling into that, maybe get into Paladin and like, you know, this sort of stuff would kind of naturally lead into and work with his backstory. And now you're fucking that all up. So
yeah, no. By adding in my backstory, I'm like, oh, I'll give him something fun, like, oh, I hear a voice randomly and whatnot, and I trust it. And Aaron's like, ooh, a voice? I can give that to Aphid too and make him think he's going insane.
Yeah, STDs from the brain, as we've learned.
Exactly.
Erus has been
It's
very
from my
much.
healing spells.
Oh,
I'm passing
man.
it via magic.
Oh man,
Erus
magic
is just
STDs.
like very much a one track mind. Like this has been my goal. And while he joined the Hunters Guild, and it's kind of been he's learned to deal with people, and like he's like cool. My goals now are to protect my current friends that I'm around, and then still this one thing. And I'm not gonna get too much into his mindset with that thing, but like you're very much opening like, well, there's this third path here. That Erus is like,
And he doesn't have to take it as the best part. He has the
Right.
option to.
yes, but because of the fact that some of the things that the voice brought up are hitting Erus very much like in his heart and like in the parts that matters, and like he's seen and understanding, especially from the fact that he's had, you know, some noble training from his father before his father died. Like he's able to take a step back and like view this conversation and these things that the voice said and like see the reason in them and see like understand what they mean and be able to take the time to like really reflect on those words. And it's hard because he's like, I want this so bad, but like how is that going to affect me and those close to me and those who meant something to me? Like what would they think of this? And it's really fucking with him, man.
Yeah. It's always interesting when you get so in sync with your character that it really messes with you as an actual person.
Yeah.
How
I had
I was curious how like you felt about like what do you think what's going on like with your thoughts on Maya at this point? Like your whole thought process of what she originally is or still is.
Iihane isn't sure. Iihane knows that it's more than a. Iihane has always believed it was more than a voice.
Right. But didn't
Iihane
Iihane believe it was like Lolth or
Iihane wasn't sure where it originally came from. Iihane knows that it's as much of her memories, like it's been there. Um, she knew it. She always thought it was a different person. She never. I don't think she ever really thought it was Lolth. Mike, as a player, thinks it is.
Mhm.
But maybe not after today's roleplay. Who knows? Um,
Sure.
but Iihane always thought it was an actual person, but never talking to another person. And now that has really been twisted because it's talking to Erus.
Makes sense.
Iihane doesn't feel like maybe a twinge of jealousy because it was always like her Maya, her friend in her head.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, Iihane is not a typical. She's not selfish. She's not upset jealous.
Right.
So.
Okay. Well, for those watching, I want to say thank you. Actually, no, All Set, how are you feeling about this? This was kind of a game I felt like where All Set didn't have a ton of as much screen time, but I felt like we tried to involve you in it, and I was just kind of curious your thoughts.
Yeah, no, so like the whole religious thing is obviously not All Set's bag, so it's just
Mhm.
like he's concerned, right?
Mhm.
So and not really having spent like a whole lot of time with these individuals, he the there's little that he can do to like pierce the subject or like bring it up,
Mm-hmm.
and he doesn't like really want to step on anyone's toes with it. So like he definitely doing his best. Maybe it's not the right approach, but he is in in kind of like a brutal, honest fashion, making like everybody knows he makes notes, so
Mhm.
there is like psych profiles on people, and just like any interactions happen in the journal and are noted for later. So like he's not the most insightful person when it comes to like emotions and like mood swings and stuff. So like seeing that hard swing, something must have happened within a 24-hour period. Still waiting on that. The advice from Alton, uh, which is going to be very interesting when that happens. And maybe just like some good news
Mhm.
for just like some news for Azrar and Erus in particular about like past friends and how their past hunter party members and to see how they're doing may uh, lighten the mood a bit more um, concerning what's been happening for like the past couple days ever since we like left Berna, I think.
Mhm.
Um, so
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
ironically, this entire adventure's been what 3 weeks at most so far. You guys
yeah.
have been together
So it's like
for?
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Well,
So
Iihane probably would have heard about them. That's why Iihane considers them a bit more than acquaintances, but not like best friends yet.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, we, at
exactly.
least me and Azrar working with the other groups, have probably made a pretty decent name for ourselves
Hmm.
at this point, at least like for within like the Hunters Guild, and I assume
Mhm.
Allset just doing what he's been doing, he's probably made him a pretty decent name for himself through the Y Academy as well as the Hunters Guild.
Mhm.
So
Iihane is just well known for being a spider lady.
yeah,
They're not very common.
Thanks, Spooters.
I
And
think. Okay.
go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I think that also plays into why she's so friendly with you guys because you guys are infinitely more friendly than her own people
yeah.
who she's used to. So you guys are like above average friendly people, which
Yeah,
is not the case, but it is to her.
yeah. Real ride or die when it's like,
Exactly.
oh,
Yeah.
that guy's gonna tell on us. We're gonna murder him,
Murder.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
ride or die.
And like
That's like definition of drow friendship. Like that guy's gonna
Yeah,
mess
Oh
with me. Let's
man,
kill him.
yeah.
yeah.
too
Well,
good.
and like Erus, when we first started playing and stuff, Erus was a very like shy and quiet character.
Mhm.
Because growing up in, this barbarian tribe and out in the wilderness before he like came and joined the Hunters Guild, he was still alone in the wild for a few years. Um, until he finally like went to a town and stuff and had been secluded for a long time and didn't want to trust people. And didn't want to get close to anyone. Uh, and then as he worked with the guild and started, going on hunts, the first few hunts, he was with, I think, two or three completely different groups of people.
Mhm.
Uh, the first few times, and like didn't really get to know anyone that well. It was kind of quiet. And then after working with these people more and more, started seeing like similarities that he had with some of the people and stuff, and especially like uh Tilato just had that like natural air of charisma about him that like Erus got from his father of just like being able to talk to people and like sway a room in different ways, but like Tilato's was more of this like comedic side of it, whereas his father's was like a very regal commanding.
Mhm.
And so he saw like a similarity and yet a difference and was like, oh, I want to attach myself like to, like this person seems like they'd be a good friend. And then over time just got to know more people, and like the guild has broken him out of his shell, and now he just like acclimates to people very quickly because he's like, these are people that I'm going to be relying on to stay alive.
Right.
um and so yeah, I mean, as soon as he gets new people in his hunting group, especially if they're going to be doing something that's going to take a while. He's like, cool, you're like family now. If anything like threatens you or, says anything bad about you, I will be there to defend you. Like it's like the guy who the one like jock who defends the nerdy kids in school and
Mhm.
like is like, yeah, that like if you want to fuck with that guy, you're gonna have to go through me.
Mhm.
So
I just want
Yeah.
to say, like, Allset would have had like a good idea of like who Erus and Azrar were beforehand,
Right.
since he was on recommendation coming uh,
Alton.
from Alton, and he would have also heard about um, Tlotto and how like early adventures and like the things that you guys got up to. So he has like a good kind of like the ideal of you guys,
Mhm.
and then is sort of understanding uh, the person behind the ideal, um, and just having that going forward.
I
Oh.
feel like if Whistle had been here during the session, there were probably a few spots where things would have been very different.
Maybe. Yeah.
Because with with how like Azrar and Erus tend to be a lot, we butt heads a lot. And Whistle has a very good way of playing Azrar to where he just pokes and prods at Erus
Mhm.
enough to like get a reaction out of him. And I feel like, especially that part where you like had him throw like a piece of bread at
Yeah.
Erus, that Whistle probably would have kept poking for a bit and escalated things to a point where Erus, being in his like very emotional state, there would have been some PvP going on.
I
Like,
felt like Azrar would say something at that point, so I'm like, I'm gonna say
oh,
something.
no, it was great. I just have a feeling that there's a decent chance that Whistle might have just like kept poking the bear to see what happens, because
Right.
I mean he's done it before with Azrar.
That's
So
exactly why Iihane like backed down. Like Iihane wanted to let you know that she heard,
Mhm.
but didn't want to pry.
yeah,
Like that's exactly what she wanted to put across to you. That way
yeah,
you knew you weren't in it alone.
yeah. Erus fucking wants nothing to do with any of this at this point. Like he is just like it's so much for
A
him
lot,
and so much
a
newness
lot
that it's
harder
just
to
like
get.
fuck. Yeah,
It's a lot harder to get rid of a god than to accept it.
Just
yeah. No, and Erus like, especially after that conversation,
Mhm.
Erus is like, this thing understands me more than I have cared to fucking understand myself, and I don't like that. I want to shut this shit down. And like,
Yeah.
and then that one line about his mother, he's just like, that wall that he had built around himself just came crumbling down. He's like, fuck, what do I do?
And Eris heard it talk to Iihane, right? Like in at the very end, that one sentence to Iihane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he said
Yeah.
yeah.
I wanted to make sure because
I just meant that
that
Iihane didn't hear the part about his mom. That's the part
yeah,
that you
no,
didn't.
I know that.
Erus almost said something to the voice about Iihane listening in, but decided not to.
The voice at least didn't give anything specific, so that's
No, and like some of the stuff, like once you kind of put that together, like you guys, Eris has talked about briefly what happened with his family. Like he
Mhm.
hasn't gone into great detail, but like it has something to do with the um fucking virus shit, the blight, whatever. Can't remember what it's called. And like whatever that comes from, like that's what it is. Uh, but like so you could have when you're like, oh, that what entity, what like thing, like you
Mhm.
would probably kind of like be able to put two together, two and two together, be like, oh, okay, this is like what he's talking
Maybe
about, like, or
now
what
after
the
the
abomination is.
maybe now after the end of that, but
Yeah.
at the beginning she wasn't sure it wasn't just talking to her.
Yeah.
So she might put it together now, but she's also trying not to pry and try to overthink it
Yeah.
to respect you.
All right. Well, I think that's where we're going to leave it for the stream on. So, stream can get some insight to how we feel about these. I just want to say to the stream, I hope you guys enjoyed some of this insight at the end. Hope you enjoyed this fairly heavy RP session. For all the RP, all the other weird things that happened and whatnot, we're going with 6,000 experience for each person. That's what we're going to give.
Oh,
Oh shit. We level up.
We still give experience for RP because otherwise then you just murder everything. That's how that makes boring game. So, thank you all for watching. I'll be back. We'll all be back next weekend as long as people aren't playing Elden Ring.
I mean, I'll be here. I might
You'll-
not mentally be here.
You'll
but
all
I'll be here.
be here for 3
Okay.
hours on Sunday
Mhm.
for the next
Friday, I'm gonna
episode
be-
where I murder
Definitely.
you all so you can go play Elden Ring for longer.
Oh,
Teamwork,
okay.
team player, team player.
Yeah. You playing at 12 hours? Hey, we all level up.
Yeah, nice. So enjoy your level up, and we'll see you guys next time.
This is important level up for me.